One particular situation that I will never forget was we had the challenge of the sunrise fires. And this encapsulated the middle of the South Fork of the east end of the island. And our school was designated as one of the locations for surrounding communities to come to us for safety. And it was the Red Cross that came to our school and set up their satellites and equipment. And then the National Guard arrived. And I was summoned, because I was the acting superintendent at the time, to immediately come out to the school. And they located me at a dinner party that I was attending, and I thought it was someone making a joke. I did not realize the catastrophe that had happened, because it was just breaking news while I was sitting at this dinner party. The county police came and escorted me out to our school, and when I arrived, the National Guard was already there, and the Red Cross was preparing to set up, along with the support of the county and town police, the local fire department, and ambulance support services. People had started to arrive that had vacated their homes of the surrounding communities that the fires were spreading to. This was not the first time that our school was designated when there was a challenge of peril to communities. I was happy to say that our area was never designated, but surrounding communities, because of many parts of their community were in low-lying areas, the hurricanes had presented a challenge to them. And once again, our school stepped forward as a designated facility for the Red Cross. And I was always happy to participate, especially in the give back, for the blessing and luxury that we had. When I arrived for the sunrise fires, I had to make it clear that I prefer the National Guard, because they had their weapons with them if they would not come inside the facility. Because I felt we don't allow anyone inside our facility with guns, and certainly not outside. And they supported my request without a problem. And little did I know that later on, at 3 o'clock in the morning, that we'd have to call upon the National Guard due to a challenge of disrespect to one of the guidelines that the Red Cross had set up regarding allowing the people to come in to our gymnasium that was set up with cots and other facilities. And this one particular person demanded to bring his horse into the gymnasium for safety, because the Red Cross had allowed some birds, cats, and dogs from the surrounding community that people were bringing so that nothing would happen to them. And I was summoned to go down to the gymnasium, and I had to confront the gentleman with his horse that no, you could not bring it into the gymnasium, and he wanted to be treated with fairness, and expressed, well, why were we allowing birds, cats, and dogs, and the Red Cross would not allow his horse to come in? I tried to appeal to his inner sense of balance, but then I was recognizing in the beginning of the conversation that he was very distraught over the fact that he was going to possibly be losing his home, barns, stables, etc., from the surrounding community. After much discussion, his disrespect and refusal for the guidelines, it was necessary for me to summon the National Guard, armed, to make it clear to him that there was no flexibility in the word no, that the horse was not coming in. Ultimately, it worked out fine, and we then designated a separate area because I felt there was some merit to what he was saying. We designated a separate area for the smaller animals, and everyone was very cooperative. It was interesting to learn that the lead person of responsibility was the district principal superintendent. And I relied on the experience of the Red Cross, the local fire department, and the police and National Guard. It proved to be very positive, but then I was relieved at 4 o'clock in the morning when we were told we'd have to vacate our premise because the fires were moving in our direction due to the winds that were pushing them in a westerly manner up the island. The buses were summoned, the facility was evacuated, and we received many words of support and compliment for helping out.